In terms of course management or course strategy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, kind of similar, isn't it? People working their way. I mean, if you're a kind of a short hitter, but you're straight, the key to your game is hitting loads of fairways, hitting the middle of the greens. Another player might be a longer hitter and doesn't mind being in the rough because they're further up and they can get a wedge on the green where a shorter hitter couldn't. So, and it goes back again to understand your own game and the course that you're given that week. Sometimes there's not a huge penalty for being out of position. Sometimes there is. So from that point of view, from reacting to the course as well as you can, maybe it's a week where you just really can't short side yourself on greens because the greens are really fast and slopey, and if you get out of position it's very tricky. Other times there's no point being too defensive, and if you do short side yourself it's no big deal. Maybe the greens are soft and fairly flat and you can get up and down from places close to the greens. So really reacting very well to the golf course that week and reacting well to the game that you have, and playing your own game and not trying to be like anybody else.
A lot of the events that you prepare the Irish teams for are match play. Do you think the shot choices should be different in match play compared to stroke play?
Yeah, they can be sometimes. Generally, it's the same game, and you're just trying to get the ball in the hole in as few strokes as possible. On other occasions, your opponent might be in trouble, and maybe you've got a couple of shots advantage and playing a more conservative shot, knowing you've got a couple of shots to play with. But those situations aren't all that often. So generally, it's the same game. But now and again in match play, you can make some different decisions. For example, if you're one down playing the last and you need to win the match, and you might take on a shot if it's a par five, for example, that you may not normally take on. You might be in a position where it's just better off if you do take it on, because if you have the hole or lose the hole, it's you were down anyway, but it's worthwhile going for it. But those situations aren't all that frequent. More or less it's the same as stroke play and just trying to get the ball in the hole as soon as possible.
What kind of preparation is done with the Irish team to prepare for the different courses that they are getting ready to play on?
A lot of our championships are on links courses. So if you look at all the provincial championships, the north and the west and the east and the south, all on fantastic links courses, ranging from April to August. So there might be a slightly different preparation around that. The national squad play a lot of golf in South Africa in the winter, so completely different conditions on totally different type of grass, different ball flights required. Playing your own game, but also adjusting to the climate, and training a lot of wedge shots and short game shots around the different grasses that you might play there. Whereas when you're back at the championships during the summertime, there's a lot more chipping and running, and sometimes lower ball flights and the windier conditions. So yeah, really that's the skills of a really good player, is just playing their game, and their game consisting of being able to adjust to whatever conditions the environment demands at the time.